What are you good at, but hate doing? Customer service. I'm a great listener, really good with empathy versus sympathy and all that, but I hate people. Not all people, you get the good ones sometimes. But I generally hate dealing with customers. My resume is full of it though, and it becomes hard to ever get out of it. I'd rather work alone. Edit. Wow, I did not think this comment would have such a response. Thanks for the awards. Glad I'm not the only one struggling to escape customer service heart. Sami. I finally got promoted out of it and I'm scared I'll be demoted back to it because I'm so good at it and much better than everyone else at my company. I work alone now and it's wonderful and I hold onto my job like Smeagol with the ring. Cake decorating. I really do enjoy it for the most part, but people just expect me to make them, for nothing. Few people are like, oh, we'll pay for ingredients. Cheers, but what you've asked for will take me at least 2 days and I've barely met you. Random friend of family member. Actually, I think I just hate people. Edit. Cheers for love guys and the award. I feel this is like the bakery equivalent of people that draw as a hobby. Recently I asked a friend to design the new tattoo I'm getting and she wasn't expecting any payment at all, because before me, friends of hers have requested drawings, far more complex than mine, as a favor and don't pay anything. Like man, it's time, energy, etc. etc. I can't figure out for the life of me why people think it's okay to exploit someone else's hobby or something they are good at for free. Edit. I was just saying an example of drawing as a hobby because it was the first thing that came to my mind and I have several artist friends who suffer from this. I'm aware that it affects a lot more of people with art-related and crafting stuff, sorry for not including all of them. Also, thanks for the silver kind stranger, my first ever award on Reddit smiley face. Firing people. I've had to terminate people in multiple jobs, usually when I'm the new person brought in to turn things around. The last time I had to tell someone, the HR VP who was in the room as well told me, wow, you are really good at this. We should have you do a video training on how to let people go. By the way, if you have to fire someone, aside from a really bad reason like theft etc., get them a severance, don't fight their unemployment claim, and cover their healthcare for a few months. Not every person works out for a job and these things make landing in their feet much easier. Taping and mudding drywall. Nice. It takes practice. Less is more is the best advice. Use the green first, and less is more. The heavy has more moisture and shrinks down, but it is strong. Keep it smooth as possible. The second and third coats are lightweight. Again, less is more. Also, run the knife over the first coat before the next 2 to 3 coats to knock down any boogers. Don't worry about inconsistencies with the lightweight because it sands down easily if you suck at it. If you can work the knives in order to feather the outer edges, you should be good. It's possible to finish with very minimal sanding. Sometimes a wet sponge is good enough to eliminate dust. Practice makes perfect. I still hate it. Mediating between people who can't get along. It is so annoying and I hate it. Turns I get stuck doing it all the time at work. Just thinking about it is stressing me out. Writing. I was told by a fairly strict English professor that I should become an English professor because of my essays and I didn't have the heart to tell him that I just sincerely despise writing. This is the main reason I stopped writing. You can tell me how good I am over and over and over, but when the act of writing is akin to ramming your head into a wall repeatedly until the words fall out, I think I'd rather find something else to do. Video editing. I like everything about it, but man, does it take a lot of time and concentration. It can get pretty tedious sometimes. Usually if I have to do tedious stuff, music helps a lot, but you can't listen to music while editing. Unless you have music in video, in which case you listen to the same song for hours, most of the time listening to the same 1.7-second loops of it. I love results of editing, love finding ways to get my message across, but god damn it, it takes a lot of time to make something good. Socializing. Everyone thinks I am so outgoing and friendly, but in reality, it wears me down mentally and physically to the point I start drinking alcohol just to be able to keep up the charade. It's exhausting and I hate it, but I have to fake it to make a living. Same. I started working remotely for this reason and I have way more energy now. My home office is very peaceful and productive. Talking to people. 26 years in retail. I could win an Oscar for the amount of believable lies I tell customers. You are the face of the company. You're always supposed to be smiling, happy, and able to carry on a single-serving conversation with anyone you meet. Off the clock, and when I was single, I was very content going days without any talking or interaction. I kinda learned to be two different people, sometimes more depending on my life at the time. I'm tired of acting. Backstroke. I'm apparently fast at it, but it's still nasal destruction. I just hate how blind you are, watching the ceiling scroll by, hoping to catch a glimpse of the flags soon. My high school had 25-yard pools. That was bearable, but the 50-meter pools are like you're lost in the abyss. Outdoor 50 meters pools are the worst. Especially if it's sunny out and clear as day, you have nothing to go off of, so you're normally zigzagging all over the place and hitting the lane line. I disagree. I got to the point where I refused to train backstroke unless I was outside. It was the never-ending lines on the selling that wrecked my sanity. I literally started hearing calliope music in my head during endurance backstroke sets. Fixing computers. Sad part is I do this for a living. I love everything about computers, networking, etc. But when I get a phone call from an inept user who makes triple my salary, or an older relative calls for computer help, the eye rolls ensue and the thoughts of hanging up kick in. Public speaking. I always get told how calm and collected I am, that I am clear and good at making it interesting, easygoing and interactive. Inside I am screaming, feel like I am going to puke, panicked, absolutely sure I have a giant stain on my shirt or booger hanging out, adrenaline rushing that makes me feel like I am going to collapse the second I am off stage. I hate it. So I get selected almost every time because, you're so good at it, I would be a total mess up there. I don't know you do it, me either Janet, me either. That's interesting. I suck at public speaking because I feel the same way as you do inside, but on the outside, I've got clammy hands, my face turns beet red, I have a hard time regulating my breathing and my voice turns shaky, and because I notice it, I then get embarrassed, which then turns my voice even more shaky. It's terrible. At least you don't look like a cool when you do it. Working as a programmer. I'm good at it, it's lucrative, but after 15 years I'm so tired of it. I just want to make enough money so I can do something else. Sales. I've been in retail for the better part of my adult life. I'm pretty decent, can get customers to where they need to be, and just overall make sure someone is happy with their purchases. I just wish I was doing anything else. I just don't know what else I can go and do. I don't have any degrees, and need money to live, so I just keep plodding along at the safe, comfortable job. Dude. Same. I can talk to and bulls asterisk it with anyone. I was selling stuff I loved, and it was fun, and I was broke. But then that progressed into a more lucrative career, and selling became more aggressive. I hated myself for feeling like I was taking advantage of the clients. But being on commission, you virtually had to if you wanted to pay your mortgage that month. I was praised for it, and told that the sky was the ceiling. I got out. I couldn't stand being so scummy, convincing people to lock themselves into S***IDI contracts for products that don't apply to their situation. Procrastinating. I'm very good at putting things off until the last minute and wasting time. Last minute? Amateur. Try putting things off until after the deadline and hoping to God it still gets accepted. Or indefinitely. Public speaking. When I was younger I used to do stuff nobody else wanted to do just for it to be over with. Started with school presentations. Same thing happened in college with group projects. Then, in a company I work for, I still am the dedicated speaker most of the time. Because, it's easy for you, you speak loudly and clearly, you do it well. Or so it seems. I hate it. It's goddamn exhausting. I usually need days of mental preparation. I'm an introvert, so it literally drains life out of me every single time. But nobody ever believes me, because I'm pretty outgoing and loud sometimes, so there's no way you're introverted. Stupid public speaking. Edit. Aw, thanks for silver, kind strangers. Graphic design. Every bloody person comes out of the woodwork for invitation design. Weddings, engagement parties, baby showers, birthdays, The worst part is, friends make the worst clients apostrophes because I would never charge them. I love it. But can you make it a bit more peppy? What do you mean by peppy, Susan? Font, color. I don't know what you don't like if you can't tell me. God, don't get me started. Okay, you did. I love design. Absolutely, love thinking outside the box and being creative, but damn. People just don't respect it and expect you to do it for free for exposure. That also includes all the photography and illustration I do. I will never monetize a hobby again. I am doing it for myself and my pleasure alone. Unless you are my mom, she loves my art. Cleaning shrimps. My wife likes them but hates cleaning them after they done. So she asks me to it every time. I am god and magician at that, at least I think I am, 'cause I can clean a bowl of shrimps in like a minute or two. But king hate to clean them. I'm good at music, people like my songs and I love coming up with melodies, but I hate recording them. I'm crap at performing, playing guitar, singing, whatever I'm doing, so I have to do hundreds of takes just to do the simplest thing properly, and then after finally getting it all together and trying to mix it all myself, I think, meh, sounds okay, I go away and when I come back the next day I realize that, actually, it does indeed sound it. It never sounds how I thought it did when I last heard it. So yeah, it's an arduous, thankless task for something I'm apparently doing for fun. Diffusing arguments. I'm often the judge and jury friend or people come to me to ask if they're being irrational. I'm almost always the first person to apologize and come up with a compromise or solution. Of course it's good to mitigate anger and drama, but some people take advantage of the fact that I'll bounce back and fix whatever is wrong. Sometimes I feel like I'm not allowed to have emotions and break down for that moment because it will derail the good thing. It's also incredibly emotionally tiring and not enough people ask if it's okay to vent, ask for advice before doing so. Bridal makeup. I love doing my makeup and I even like dipping into the SX side of things. So I was a go-to for friends looking to save money on their wedding makeup for a while. I quickly learned I hated it. It is not freeing or creative for me and there's too much pressure. There are also time crunches to deal with. I won't do bridal makeup anymore. I'll keep playing with makeup in my own bedroom with no time pressure or real need for it to turn out well. That's what I enjoy. I'm pretty good at drawing pet portraits, but as soon as I take commissions I just lose my motivation. You'd think being paid might help, but because I have to do it, it's less interesting.